Welcome to Paint Yourself into the Picture, where we create the best picture of our lives. I'm Reba Linker, best-selling author and coach, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so eager to introduce our distinguished guest, Misa Hopkins, but first, by popular demand, I'm happy to reinstate my 2-minute teachings, which people have responded to with so much love and encouragement. And I'd like to begin with this quote. We ask ourselves why terrible obstacles should be placed in our path. We cannot but wonder at times why we cannot have smooth sailing instead of being compelled always to fight against adverse winds and rough seas. No doubt the reason is that character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. And that was said by the brilliant, wonderful Helen Keller, who knows whereof she speaks, particularly about vision. And so I invite you to look at whatever challenges you may be facing as gifts rather than obstacles. And to ask not why is this happening to me, but rather why is this happening for me? And rather than gazing at the enormity of the challenge, to shift your gaze to search eagerly for the opening, which is well within your capability to achieve. Remember a universal law that I received from the lips of my beloved teacher, Shanta. There is no challenge in your life that you are not capable of overcoming. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our guest. Reverend Misa Hopkins is the spiritual director of the New Dream Foundation dedicated to healing and awakening through the sacred feminine. She apprenticed for several years with a Cherokee elder studying ceremony and energy healing, as well as studying ceremony across cultures. Reverend Misa prayed for a path of enlightenment, especially created for a woman's energy and connection to the divine. The answer was given to her through a beautiful and ancient womb-shaped granite ceremonial bowl. When she meditated with the ceremonial bowl, she received visions about native ceremonies, journeys, healing prescriptions, and meditations for awakening. These practices of enlightenment for women have been asleep for over 100 years. They are being revealed now because the time is right for the women of the planet to claim their sacred power in the feminine. She is the best-selling author of the books The Root of All Healing, 7 Steps to Healing Anything, and the Sacred Feminine Awakening series. It is my great pleasure to welcome again Misa Hopkins to the show.
Thank you so much, Reba. That was such a beautiful introduction, and I'm really excited to be with you here today, and I'm really touched by your topic, your 2-minute teaching, because it fits perfectly with what we are going to explore today, that sense of those obstacles coming up in your life and those challenges and how to reframe them, be present to them in completely new ways so that they serve. I loved what you shared. I thought it was just perfect.
Thank you. And isn't that just the trick? Because life is not always going to be a bowl full of cherries, and handling that is really the secret to happiness.
Yes.
Nobody can expect it to always be a rosy picture. So the trick is, how do we move through life and kind of ride those waves?
Exactly. Well put. Very, very well put. The grandmothers taught me that in the motion of creation, as all of these elements of creation are formed, they come from original intention. But in that manifestation, we sometimes bump up against each other. In fact, they call it friction. It's just friction. So what they suggest is that if we learn how to be present to the friction, it is no longer friction. What happens is we re-inform source that this is uncomfortable. And a new alignment occurs, and then we move through those, quote, challenges or frictions quite differently, and they actually can be very comfortable, joyful, and even blissful.
I know that I invited you here as an addition to the wonderful interview we did on the Divine Feminine, But I'm so intrigued by what you're saying that I before we get to the meditation, I have to just ask you to address a little bit more detail. What do you mean by re-informed source? You said you will re-inform source that it's uncomfortable. What does that action mean to you?
Oh, that's a great question. And it was the question that I had. What I discovered as I explored that concept is that we tend to think of source just directing us and informing us as though it's a one-way communication, unless we beg and ask for help. And what the grandmothers were teaching me is that that is not how it works. There is a communication always back and forth, that source is forming itself through our experiences, and we are forming ourselves through source experiences, or as it has been said, as above, so below. Mm-hmm. That there is a constant relationship going on. So it's our privilege, it's our opportunity to pause when something's not working for us. And to say, oh, rather than complain or rail against ourselves or God or other people or whatever it is we think is harming us, to say, oh, this isn't working. This friction is uncomfortable. And then, as we will be doing, what the grandmothers taught me to do is hold it in a sacred feminine way, in the womb of femininity. And it's in that holding that we are basically realigning with source. We are informing source, this is uncomfortable, and allowing divine guidance to once again flow through us in a reinformed way, so that we have new perspectives and new choices. So it's both. It's a wonderful dialogue and communication that's ongoing.
Really fascinating that there's this receptivity to what we're experiencing, and that just speaks to the idea of us not being alone, that we really are in partnership with the source, and the source cares. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, my dear, you're uncomfortable. Let's adjust it a little bit. What a loving thought.
That's right. That's right. And that the degree to which we are loving is also bringing love to the experience of consciousness. Mm-hmm. And that is reflected back to us. So we draw upon the loving consciousness of our ancestors and those that are coming later. We draw from those around us that are enlightened and aware, or those who have dedicated their lives deeply to love, or have transcended pain in some way to a deeper experience of love. We all draw from that consciousness together. Mm-hmm. And we give to that consciousness together. Yeah. So the work that we do, and I say this frequently, Reba, to my clients that are healing chronic conditions and think, oh, but I have to get to my work. No, honey, you are doing the sacred work. This is it. Yes, you have more to contribute to the world, of course, and you will get there. But it's important for us not to diminish what is happening as we bring love to every situation that we are encountering. That we are then turning it into something that is for not only our own evolution and consciousness, but the evolution and consciousness of all humanity, all life.
I love what you're saying, and it really is moving me so deeply. I'm very excited that you're sharing your wisdom with us today. And you know, I read the intro, and it talks about how you received the ceremonial bowl, and I'm so excited that you're going to be sharing that ceremony that developed out of that gift with us. Is there some kind of introduction that you want to make to the ceremony that we're going to be experiencing? Anything we need to know or do?
Well, the holding that we're going to experience is fundamental to everything. All of the ceremonies, all of the journeys, all of the songs, all of our practices are based in this concept of holding, which is a beautiful word for describing sacred feminine essence. So if we think of our own wombs that hold life, whether it's our physical womb or energetic womb, we are holding life. And that energetic consciousness is in us. And so our opening to awakening or enlightenment comes most easily for many of us through this concept of holding. It's more natural. to our bodies, and it honors our emotions. So what the grandmothers taught me is in that a choice to hold, we are acknowledging the flow of emotions that are informing us about what is and isn't working.
So is it as if we're actually birthing ourselves?
We are, exactly. We are birthing ourselves.
Mm.
That's right. And our emotions are our doorways to our own awakening.
Wow.
Which is so important for women as we go through our cycles, and we know as our hormones change, our emotions are rolling with it. What the grandmothers did with this particular meditation is that they taught it to their young women as they came into menses. So a young woman had a way to be with all of that emotional energy, and she was beginning her practice of awakening every time that she sat with her emotions in this sacred space.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just tremendous. And I just want to remark also, going back to what you said before, because there's so much going on in my mind right now, but the idea of, people trying to get to their work, and the idea that you expressed of, no, this is the work. We are doing it right here. So it's such a wonderful antidote to, the cultural drive to get over there, to get to the finish line, to get to the prize, to get to the symbol of success. And no. This is it. This is it right now.
That's right. And that in that now, by being present in that consciousness, we do achieve those goals that we have set. And that movement toward achievement is sacred masculine energy, and it's powerful. And we need it and we want it. That's what has created all of the technology we're using right now to communicate. So we want that energy. We also want to acknowledge the tremendous value of being and being present to our beingness. And that in that presence, we are creating an easier path. And as the grandmothers have taught me, the more that we hold whatever is present in our lives and hold it in love, the more that we gently and easily attract exactly what we need at any given moment to continue the journey that we came here to experience. So we can make it a lot easier for ourselves. Basically, that's the bottom line.
Oh, how wonderful. Now that is the best news. Let's get started.
All right. Well, I'm delighted to share this. And I do want to preface, this is the first part of a 3-part meditation called the creation meditation. The holding begins in the sacred feminine womb and we just emerge into the light of the sacred masculine. That part is actually the second step that we take further in when we go deeper into the creation meditation. And then we actually do go into a process of rebirthing ourselves. So sacred feminine, sacred masculine, the rebirthing of the self. We're going to start with just the very first part today in the holding in the sacred feminine.
Right.
All right. Let's get comfortable. Please sit comfortably. It's good to have your feet either cross-legged or flat on the floor. Hands, I recommend, in an open position, so your body's in a relaxed and open posture. And just to breathe into this beautiful moment. Breathe into the space that you are. The space between your breaths. And the space between your thoughts. We are more space than vibrational reality. Space is the vessel, the container, the womb, the grail of life. Limitless in its capacity to create and to love. Allow yourself in this awareness of space to become aware of a moment when you felt love. any flavor of love, delight, romance, compassion, kindness. And feel that love reverberating throughout the space that you are. Allow that awareness of the loving space you are to anchor into your energetic womb. And breathe into that expansive love, your energetic womb that connects you to the primordial womb of all life, from which all life is born. This dark, cool expanse we call space. Slow and easy, gentle, holding you as you are, loving you as you are, without any expectation, holding you in your suchness. Allow yourself to rest in space, space enough for every thought, every emotion, every experience you have had or will have. Notice as you are held, you are also holding yourself. Allow yourself to hold what is present for you right now. Any emotion, any feeling, any thought, holding it in love, simply because it exists, it is worthy of recognition. Let your love go deep, deeper than it has ever been before. As you hold in love, the difficult emotions relax, finally heard, finally understood and loved. They rest and dissipate. Sometimes immediately, sometimes layers relax over days of meditation, but they finally rest. Pleasing emotions expand, open, and intensify. And at the center of your being, there is peace. As emotions move through you like waves of water across a night sky. From deep in the silence, the I am of your becoming emerges as a word, a sound, a feeling, a thought, a vision, a symbol. In whatever way you and the divine communicate best. Allow this new I am to fill you and emerge from you. And imagine yourself bringing this I am into your daily life. Something on your altar, a reminder on your desk, a ritual to do each day to anchor in this beautiful I am of your being during this moon cycle. Knowing that it is an aspect of your fulfillment. And as you bring attention to it, it draws in what you need. And knowing now that as the obstacles arise, you can bring them here and hold them. You can hold them in meditation. You can hold them as you're doing the dishes, as you're sweeping the porch, as you're having a cup of tea, as you're talking with a friend. You can hold whatever is passing through with love and emerge in the I am that you are. As this I am emerges, notice the light of your being awakening, getting stronger and brighter. This expression of your bliss, your joy, your love, your passion, awakening in you as energy in action and expression in the world. And delight in that light that you are, born from the womb of your own becoming and the love that is you. With this awareness, we're going to come back into the physical world, bringing that state of gentle, dark, restful peace and that sense of beautiful joy in your expression back with us into physical reality. So 3 breaths together. Big inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Becoming aware of the air around you, its scent, sounds, feel, temperature. Next, inhale further into physical reality. Exhale through the mouth, blowing yourself into your body. Feel where you are sitting as physical reality. Last breath all the way back in. Big inhale. Exhale through your mouth, blowing yourself completely into awareness of your body. Stretch your hands, your fingers, your feet, your neck, whatever you need. And when you feel your body, then very gently open your eyes.
Wow.
It's yummy, isn't it?
That was so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm just almost too blissed out to speak.
Well, Reba, let me suggest that if those who are watching right now want to do this, they can certainly watch this video over and over. Initially, when this was taught to young women, it was understood that each woman would make it her own. So every time I do this, Reba, it's a little different. And isn't that the wonder of our creativity? So it inspires creativity. Your own natural gifts will awaken. You might be more auditory, more visual, and each woman truly makes it her own. And then if you would like to listen to an audio of it, you can go to sacredfemininawakening.com and download a free audio and put that on your MP3 player and listen to it every day.
Great idea. So that's where people can find you if they'd like to work with you or learn more about your foundation and your activities and your series.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, I cannot thank you enough for coming back to add this meditation. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think it's something that I should continue to do. Thanks to wonderful guests on the show, because what I particularly appreciate about what you said is that we each can make it our own, which really appeals to me, and I think will appeal to the viewers as well. Please, viewers, if you're out there, please chime in and let me know how that idea feels, how it sits with you. I personally think it's really wonderful to uphold everyone's expression and creativity, and I really appreciate you, Misa, for doing that.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. That's what makes us all so rich and wonderful, our unique experiences and expressions. Indeed. Thank you so much for having me and inviting me back to share the holding. It's such a treat to get to share this with people. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift, and I hope people will watch it again and again, because it's right here for you to get started as you create your own meditation. And I want to thank my guest once again for being with us, and I want to thank you, the viewers, for being with us today. I invite you to leave your comments and to like and to be sure to subscribe to the show so that you don't miss any of the juicy goodness to come. I'm Reba Linker, and I invite you to join my Facebook group, which is called Leaders in Self-Love. And you can learn more about me and my coaching courses and books at rebalinker.com. Please like the video, and if you'd like to be a guest on the regular coaching format of Paint Yourself into the Picture, please fill out the simple application at rebalinker.com/tv-show/guest-application. And I'd love to have you as a guest on the coaching section of the show. Please join us again next week. Until then, remember to paint yourself into the picture, for this is how we heal. Thank you.